Instagram, YouTube, wherever you're seeing this at. I am Miss Flowers. I am a life coach. Looking greasy. I want to get up here and talk about motherhood because I always felt that I had a really good mother. And when it came to my mother and some of the stuff that she would do, like sometimes I didn't understand what this woman was doing. But at the same time, she was learning to be a mother while trying to teach me how to be an adult. And I think a lot of times we don't talk about how our mothers are becoming becoming a mother at a young age. Even though she was legal, she was 22, and that's still young to me. At 22, she was a mother. And I this is me. A lot of people don't feel this way, but I feel like from your 20s to your 30s, that should be the space where you're finding yourself, where you're figuring things out yourself, where you go and you get a career, you travel, you make the money. I mean, you could travel with kids, but you travel, you make the money, you save some money, you have some money built up, you have some stuff saved, and then maybe go on to have children. No, that's just me. A lot of people say they'd rather have their kids younger, and then when they get older, they can do whatever they want when they're like in their 40s. Understandable. But as a 22-year-old, also, I had my daughter when I was 22, and then I had another child when I was 30, 32. My mindset was different with both of those children. Totally different person. And of course, you're going to be a totally different person. You're older, you're wiser, you know more. If you really want to know more, because what you don't know, you don't know. But a lot of times, people don't know something and they don't go figure it out either. So when it comes to being a parent, our parents didn't know how to be a parent. And I know there's some teenagers that watch my page. Your parent didn't know how to be a parent. Your parent is going off of what their parents did. And sometimes your parents will change that generational. Sometimes it's a curse, sometimes it's just what they've been taught. Sometimes your parents will change that. Sometimes they won't do what their parents did. And sometimes they just don't know better. But they're not, some of them are not trying to do better. And I'm not trying to make excuses for it for parents not doing better. Because when you have children, you should want to be better. And a lot of people don't. And when you are somewhat of an adult and you're raising a child, you have to kind of put yourself on the back burner, and you're learning to be a mother or be a father while trying to raise this little human being. So sometimes you guys give your mom and your dad some slack. Sometimes it's just wrong, and I'm gonna be the first to say they're just wrong. But give your mother, your father, give them some slack sometime, because at the end of the day, they're people, they're human, and they make mistakes, and you make mistakes. And sometimes you'll even have a parent that will apologize for the mistakes that they made. Hi, how are you? It's not always, we're learning. We're learning. So I learned as a mother myself that certain things that my mother did, I understood it later on. I got it later on. But then there were some things that she did that I was like, no, I'm not doing that with my children. But at the same time, parents, you have to give your children some slack as well, because your children they're doing this for the first time too. It's not like they they're doing this for the first time. They're being kids for the first time. And they're being kids in a totally different realm. So when people are talking about, oh, back in my day, back in your day was different. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have AI. We didn't have all this stuff like constantly being thrown in your face and being overwhelmed by it. I'm all right. So when you really think about it, we're all living in different time. We're all living in different time frames. Like when I grew up, the internet was just being introduced, but these kids, they are basically born with iPads in their hand. So it's different. Yes, some things are going to be the same, but it's not completely the same. It's not, oh well, this is what we used to do, and da, 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 da. It's not. Some of y'all be like, oh, I used to walk a mile to school. You can't do that now because people are weird. You can't, and people were weird back then, so they're even weirder now. And some people, your children are getting snatched up, and it's like, if you could take your kids to school, why would you not take your kids to school? If you, so as parents, we need to give our kids some slack because this is all new to them. It's all new to them. Even with the internet, with us, is new to us. With the children, sometimes you got to give your parents some slack, and sometimes your parents are not trying to keep you from doing things. Sometimes they're trying to keep you safe. There have been times when I went to go to this particular place that my mother would always say no. She would always say no. The first time she said no, there was a shootout there. Second time she said no, there was a shootout. The third time there was a party at that place, I did not bother asking. Because at that point, if you, even as a child, a teenager, I was like, well, the last two times there was a shootout, so guaranteed there'll probably be one now. So sometimes your parents are trying to protect you. When they don't let you sleep over certain people's houses or they don't let you go to certain people's houses, they're trying to protect you from something. They might not tell you what it is until you get older. And another thing with parents, you got to start talking to your children and letting them know sometimes, but especially if they're old enough to understand, talking to them and letting them know, I don't let you go over such and such's house because I don't know who else is in that house, or such and such has too many people running in and out of their house. And I don't feel you'll be safe there because there's predators everywhere, everywhere. So you have to sometimes explain to your kids why you don't want them to go somewhere, why you don't want them to do something, instead of, no, you can't do this. Explain to them sometimes. Because some kids will just sneak and go. They'll sneak and go. And now they're in a situation that could have been avoided if you could have just explained a little bit more, because you think, oh, I'm the parent, I'm the adult. They're going to do what I say. It doesn't always have to be like that. You can explain to it on a child's level. I don't feel you're going to be safe over there. Something might happen because this happened to such and such. Like, and that's even family members. If you feel something's off, you don't got to send your kids to family members' house, but you should also warn your children. Because if y'all all family and they're somewhere with somebody else and they bring them to this place, you at least want to let your child know, like, call me because I don't want you over there. A lot of times I think parents they're so hell bent on, I'm the adult, you're going to do what I say. And it's like, explain to these things, explain to the children what could happen to them. Show them how other things have happened to other children. And I'm not trying to be morbid or trying to be a Debbie Downer, but sometimes you need to see that this happened to such and such, or this happened to this person, so they can understand where you're coming from, and not just, I'm the adult, you're going to do what I say. I pay the bills. Da, 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 da. Like, stop being mean to them children all the time. So that is what I had to say. And kids, give your parents a break, and parents, give your kids a break sometime. Talk to y'all later.